we get ready to go through the next phase of our HOPEfest 23 festivities, where it's a worldwide celebration, recognition, put your dukes up, let's fight about it, kind of cancer awareness day, wrapping all the way around the globe. So we're grateful to have the FECO Playbook and Jamie, who has led this all up there, and I'll graciously hand it off to her now as we progress through to the next stage.
Okay, so let me just start by saying this. This story is incredibly personal, and is, yeah, we're gonna cry. It was the match that lit the fire underneath my tail end to get this going to the point it did. When I felt incredibly defeated and didn't know how things were going to happen, I got a phone call from Amber, who you guys don't know, we've been friends for over a decade. Her husband and I were friends for almost a decade before that. This is family to me. I was in her wedding, did her hair for her wedding.
Yeah. Best woman at the wedding.
Yeah. Yes. So I got a phone call from her, and she said, "Hey, you don't get to quit." I said, "What do you mean?" And she said, "I just got diagnosed, and I need you. Like, you don't get to give up." Okay. So I'm gonna let you know, like, this woman right here has usually been everybody's cheerleader. It's just not. It's usually her. So this one is quite different to watch you fight, to be honest. It's been different. So I'm gonna let Amber tell us a little bit about your diagnosis and what it was like.
Okay. So August 8th, I went into the ER to what I thought was get antibiotics, because that's just my life. We go to the ER for one thing and it turns out to be another. And so I thought, I had been in April, I had gotten diagnosed with pneumonia. I went in, thank you. I went in and I had a small, they didn't chest x-ray, I had a small little patch right here, which at the time they were like, whoa, but no one said anything. They diagnosed it as pneumonia with my other symptoms, gave me antibiotics, sent me on my way. So 2 months later, school's getting ready to start. The cough has gotten worse, progressively worse and worse. And so I figured that the pneumonia has come back, and I go into the ER again. This time, after my chest x-ray, there was a whole lot more activity and commotion. Suddenly, I was being rushed into an ambulance, and I was being transferred to Hillcrest in Tulsa. And I was being told that there was a mass on my lung, and that's all that they told me. So now it's go time. I mean, I'm texting my husband, and I'm like, and I'll meet you at the hospital. And then we get to the hospital, and it was just tests, and everyone told me that it was most likely gonna be cancer. Then when we confirmed that it was cancer. We did the liver biopsy to just figure out exactly what kind of cancer. And that is when they discovered that it is extensive small cell lung carcinoma, which is very rare for someone my age to have. It is a 70, 80-year-old person's cancer. There are literally not statistics on someone my age. You can look it up and it will tell you that a handful of people might have this, excuse me. But that means we are literally beating the odds. There is no limitations. There's no, and God bless one of my oncology nurses. She walked into my hospital room and she said, "Look, I'm going to need you to listen to your doctors to a certain point. She's like, I'm going to need you to listen to them about what you need to do to fight this. And then I'm going to need you to stop because they're going to start throwing years at you and statistics at you, and they just don't apply to you." And that's the fight right there. So they don't apply to me. So yes, the diagnosis is terminal. But I feel like one of the things that makes that terminal is because it is an older person's disease, and those 6 cycles of chemo were no joke. It took an extremely aggressive chemo to fight back because it is an extremely aggressive cancer. Because from April, when it was just a little patch, to August 8th, April 11th to August 8th, and it was taking over 80% of my right lung and had metastasized into my liver and my right lymph node and was starting to travel into my heart. And we caught it just in time before it got to my heart. Now, I was just in the hospital a few weeks ago, and they did a chest x-ray, and they're gone. We have CT scans February 13th to confirm. But there is no recognizable masses on my lungs, which means we have, in fact, done the impossible, because I was forewarned that I would probably not ever get rid of the masses, that I would be fighting this forever. And I know that they'll probably come back and we'll have to fight this all over again. But in the meantime, the goal is to keep them away for as long as possible and keep the body healthy and strong so that when we have to do that 6 cycles again, I'm ready, because that was a fight. And I will tell you now, it's not the cancer that makes you sick. I mean, eventually, obviously it will, but I mean, we well know my birthday that year, or last year, I had cancer and didn't know it. And
we had a blast.
Had no clue. But boy, I tell you what, you know when that chemo kicks in.
Yeah. So, and you mentioned that, and that's something people need to hear and understand, is that when you are making decisions, first off, don't ever let anybody else's opinion dictate what you choose to do. You can let their education be a thought, but that overall decision needs to be yours. Amber will be the first to tell you that I personally would not have chose her treatment option.
Absolutely.
Now I chose part of her treatment option. We did put her on FECO, and a good amount of it. But some of those other, but you know, I wasn't in that. I wasn't there. I wasn't. I mean, I understood. I just knew that once that chemo hit, she was gonna feel like she had cancer. And we were just out for her birthday playing and having pool and having fun. Like, I don't understand how that happened so fast. So we do. Oh, James left you a comment.
Oh, thank you. Rules don't apply to us. They don't. And that's, I mean, one of the ways I've stayed strong though is I didn't even look at statistics. And it's so funny because so many people have for me.
Yeah.
And so many people are doing the research and they're out there and I've got them coming to me going, you need this and you need this. And I'm like, thanks, because I'm not looking. I refuse. I'm not going to look at numbers. I'm not going to believe it. That in itself is another struggle that you don't realize until you're in the middle of this diagnosis, because I'm technically terminal. So I should be living like I'm dying. But on the other hand, I'm supposed to be fighting so I don't. So you got to stay positive and not believe that you're dying, but still make all those preparations just in case. And it's hard, but we're fighting it.
And winning.
And winning. And winning. Winning. You gotta love it when you hear the oncologists use words like miracle, amazing, unbelievable. When people walk into your hospital room and they're like, whoa, you look great. And that's, I mean, I feel great. The last blood transfusions I needed, I didn't even know I needed them. So, and I was so low.
So sorry. Show Justin.
But yeah, so I keep getting asked what my positivity secret to success is, and I mean, I say it to you all the time.
Yeah,
you already know
but
what
you
is
know-
it? God, Ganja, and a great support system, and I mean that's just where it is. I am blessed with some amazing people in my life, and I wish it didn't take cancer to make it happen, but my dreams of inspiring and motivating are literally happening as we speak. And so it is what it is.
It's very interesting to be on the other side of this. So not to take away from your story at all, but our stories include each other. So,
absolutely.
I was sick for many years and in and out of surgeries for many years. And Amber was my cheerleader during that. Amber would call me and be like, I don't know how you have the strength to get up and do anything that you're doing. I don't know how you have the strength to do this. Like, or she'd call and be like, girl, you just had surgery, like a major surgery. You need to sit down.
Stop for a minute.
Stop for a minute. And, you know, she's always been, so she, at one point in time, she was like, I'm going to make sure, like, I want to be the one that tells your story. I want to be the one that writes your story. And then just how it flipped, like, and now I'm sitting here sharing your story.
My story, I know, it's so crazy. I say that all the time, that I've spent, you know, so much time trying to empower other people and help other people, and it's weird to be the one to need it. It's weird to be on that flip side too, and when, you know, the disability and the financial of it, and it's a crazy, there's so many sides that you don't think of until you're in the middle of it. But again, we're fighting it. We're figuring it out.
Amber was our first patient, or first not patient, we're not patient, our first cancer warrior. We don't have patients. Our first cancer warrior on the dollar program relaunch. Real quick, can you explain as as one of our sponsored warriors, what that is like for you. Like, how is it a difficult experience? Is
It's not a difficult experience. Once you get established with where you can pick up your medicine, uh, it's once a week I fill out a survey that actually makes me feel really good, because it makes me realize that somebody really does care what's going on and is tracking my health besides me and my family. And I mean, I know I've got loved ones, but there's just something in knowing that somebody's there with you and cares on the medical side of it, because doctors a lot of times don't. They're very, I mean, they deal with this all the time. It's just another Tuesday for them, but this is our lives. And so it's nice to know that someone cares. So you fill out the little survey once a week, and I go, and yesterday I picked up months worth of medicine, and I can tell you that I paid less for a full month than I would have paid for one dose at a normal dispensary. And that is a big part and really important, because you're already dealing with so much that the last thing you need to be able to deal with is, can I afford to live? Can I afford to keep fighting this and keep surviving? And to know that there are people out there that want to help you do that, I mean, that's our purpose, you know. You already know. It's really weird being a member on both sides, you know, because I now understand how much not only was it our purpose, but how much we really are helping, and how much you really are helping. And I mean, and when you're on a gram a day dose, you know, you have to get as much help as you can, because when you're looking at the cheapest you can find it on the shelf, walking out the door is $20. I mean, that's $20 a day, 31 days a month. You need all the help you can get. I mean, and there's more programs out there, but
this is where, man, this is where Jim has been the biggest blessing. I mean, I can't take the credit of that. Like I said, we've got a fantastic partnership with Dauntless that helps us, and we'll be speaking with them here shortly. There are other people out there that are helping do this, and that just blows my mind. FECO Playbook is really dedicated to this, and so a big thank you for the impact that you guys have had on our lives, for sure.
absolutely. Just about up.
Yep, I think our time is about up. We are going to end this, and we will. Is there any last final things you want to say?
I just support it is a big one. If you know someone that's diagnosed, if you don't, go out and find someone that's diagnosed, and just let them know that you're there, because that's really all they need from you. And any way you can help, help. Not everyone is vocal, not everyone, but they need the help. Whether they say it or not, they need the help. So help.
Thank you for sharing your story.
Thank you for having me here.
Ruining my mascara. I love you.
I love you.
It is
an incredible journey that you're on, and I know there's not a dry eye in the whole place. I know around here, I got these aren't just dab rags over here. These are actually tears of happiness and joy. So thank you so much for sharing that with us. And so next we've got coming up the body bioavailability and nano, how we're getting this awesome medicine inside of people as quick as we can and with some great effectiveness. So again,